What moment made your life fall apart? My 9-year-old son handed me a handmade card on Mother's Day and addressed it to Miss Elena. Not mom, not even mommy, just Miss Elena. I stared at it for a second, thinking it was a joke. He was standing there smiling like he was proud of it. Inside was a drawing of a woman I didn't recognize. Tall, thin, perfectly dressed in a pink pantsuit. Not me. Not even close. When I asked him who Miss Elena was, he said, "She's the one who picks me up from school and reads with me and helps me with my homework." I felt my stomach drop. I said, "But sweetheart, that's my job." And he blinked at me, confused. "No. Mommy says you're too tired after work, so Miss Elena does it now." I went cold. I didn't even know my husband had hired someone. We were doing okay financially, but not nanny level okay. I waited until my son went to bed and confronted my husband. He looked annoyed, like I'd interrupted something, and said he'd hired her a few months ago because I kept missing school pickup and forgetting things. Said she was just helping out. I asked why he never told me, and he said, "Because you'd overreact, just like you're doing now." I didn't sleep that night. I looked through our security camera app, and sure enough, every weekday around 3 p.m., this woman came to our door. Sometimes she brought cupcakes. Other times she had craft kits or flashcards. Always smiling, always put together. The next day, I left work early without telling anyone and showed up at school in time for pickup. When my son saw me, he looked disappointed. Miss Elena wasn't there. He held my hand politely but kept glancing around. When we got in the car, he asked, "Is Miss Elena okay? Did something happen to her?" I said, "No, I just wanted to pick you up today, like I used to." He nodded slowly but didn't say much. That evening, I asked my husband if we could let Miss Elena go. He snapped, "Why? So you can keep forgetting his field trips and never show up to parent-teacher night again?" I was stunned. He'd never talked to me like that before. I said, "I want to be his mother again." And he said, "You had your chance, and you wasted it." That night, after he went to bed, I checked our shared calendar. His phone was still unlocked in the kitchen. There were recurring events labeled e-meetings multiple times a week, sometimes during lunch, sometimes at 9 p.m. I clicked on one and saw the location, her apartment. I clicked another, her gym, then another, her spa. I felt sick. I scrolled through his messages and found one from her. "Thanks for tonight. He was so happy to see us both." I opened the gallery and found selfies of them with my son, in the park, at the aquarium, eating ice cream, my son on her shoulders, her wearing my sunglasses in one picture, my husband holding her hand while our child held hers in the other. My hand was shaking. I woke him up and asked him what the hell he was doing. He groaned. "It's not what it looks like." I showed him the photos. He just stared at them. I asked if they were sleeping together. He didn't deny it. Said it just happened, that she was there when I wasn't, that our son needed consistency, and she gave him that. He tried to blame me for working late. Said I left them no choice. Then he said the most unbelievable thing. "She's a better mother than you ever were." I almost blacked out from rage. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just got up, packed a bag, and left. The next morning, I called a lawyer, then my son's school, and made sure I was on the emergency pickup list again. No more Miss Elena. No more behind my back parenting. 2 weeks later, my son asked why we didn't see her anymore. I said, "Because I'm your mom, not her." He thought about that for a long time, then nodded and said, "I like when you pick me up." I smiled and said, "Me too, buddy, me too." And from that day forward, I never missed a single pickup again.